Hello, North Carolina FBLA Central Region. Welcome to your RCEC Regional Conference for the 2021 school year. I am so thrilled that you all are able to experience the joys and wonders of an RCEC and all of its incredible opportunities, including workshops and seeing how you placed in your regional competitive event. I am even more thrilled to also be presenting this mini workshop on becoming a state officer and talking a little bit about the experiences that I have had as a state officer thus far, serving on the North Carolina FBLA leadership team. If you do not know who I am, my name is Brena Gauland. I currently serve as the North Carolina FBLA State President, my local chapter, J.H. Rose High School's chapter president in the Eastern region, so kind of close to you guys. And then I serve as the Executive Director of Public Relations for the National President's Executive Council. So I want to talk first a little bit about my experiences in FBLA and then move into some things explaining why I love being a state officer and serving on the national level, how you can become involved, and why you should. A little bit about me, I joined FBLA my freshman year and I immediately fell in love. Joining Future Business Leaders of America was the best decision that I made in high school, and since you are watching this video, that means that you are an FBLA, that means you are involved in the greatest and largest career and technical student organization in the world, and I am just, again, if you can't tell, so excited that you all are thinking about pursuing a state officer leadership position team. Again, I was in FBLA for 4 years. This is my fourth year serving as a chapter officer, my first year on the state and national levels. So at the beginning of my junior year last year, I'd always really had kind of a big want to serve at the national level and at the state level, especially after seeing some of my friends all across the United States take up leadership positions in their states and on the national level. And my junior year is when I really actually, thought to myself, okay, Brena, if you want to do this, you need to do it ASAP. You need to do it now. It's now or never. And so I got all of my materials together, which if you're interested in how to get those materials, we'll talk about that in a few moments. But the first thing I did was talk to my advisor and talk to my friends who have served on the national state levels and who were thinking about also doing serving on the national and state levels. So we can kind of play around with ideas with each other. So I took it up with my advisor. He was in complete support of it, which I'm very, very thankful for. Having a supportive advisor is something that I'm extremely grateful for and is something that you all have and you should not take for granted. And so after discussing it with him, we started thinking about exactly what position I would want to run for. And I knew it would be president. I am a very go big or go home person, and truly getting to lead and serve are my favorite things. Being able to serve a large group of people, meet new people all the time, and get to serve this great organization of FBLA was something that I knew I wanted to do as president. So I decided to run for the position of North Carolina FBLA state president, and man, am I so thankful that I did. So I went through the entire process. It involved interviews, writing samples, submitting my resume, transcript, taking a couple of study guide tests, and then just anxiously awaiting to see what the results were. I was an unopposed candidate. I was the only one running to be the North Carolina FBLA state president last year. However, I still needed to earn a majority of votes. And so earning a majority of those votes is something that is obtained by making yourself known, making it known who you are to those who will be your delegates, your voting delegates, and making yourself and what you want to do for the state of North Carolina FBLA, or if you choose to serve at the national level, what you want to do and how you're going to do it. So I gathered all of that up. I wrote it all down. I started talking with my advisor and my friends. I gathered a campaign manager who was also extremely supportive, and I'm very thankful for him as well. And throughout the process of deciding to run for FBLA state president, I was able to get to network with other people, get to discuss with others about how I can make my platform stronger, how I can get the word out that I wanted to run for president, and how I wanted it to be a process that would run smoothly, but also be one that was rewarding and fulfilling. And so when I was elected, after obtaining a majority of votes, it was the greatest feeling. I just remember tearing up a little, shortly after I received the news, because I was just so excited. Getting to serve as your state president has been an honor, and I'm so thankful that it is not over yet. So that's a little bit about me. And now I want to talk a little bit about advice. So if you are thinking about running for a state or a national position, what are the things that you should be thinking about? What are the things that you should be doing? The first thing is to talk to your advisor. That's the first thing you should do if you're thinking about running for a state or a national position. I would encourage you to begin at a state position first, because getting to serve your state is important. And then if you want to go out to the national level, that is also incredibly important and would be very beneficial, not only to your networking skills and your ability to serve and lead, but also starting at the state level, I would say, is a good stepping stone to the national level if that is what you were interested in. So the first step is to talk to your advisor. Let him or her know that you're interested in running for state office, and so that they can go ahead and see if that's a good fit for you, if you would be a good fit to serve on the leadership's team for the state. And then from there, I would recommend going ahead and just sitting down with a pen and paper and writing your why. Because you're going to get that question. You're going to get the question, why do you want to run for office? And it's a question that you need to be able to answer well. And so my why is written on a sheet of paper, and it is just something that came naturally to me. I was sitting down and I was like, okay, why do I want to run to be FBLA state president? Why do I want to serve the state of North Carolina FBLA? And I wrote about how much I love this organization, what it has done for me, how I've grown as a person from my freshman year to my then junior year, and how FBLA has played an integral role in that. And so I included that in the process of writing my why. From there, this is also a very important step, and is one that you might not necessarily need to take if you're just beginning to think about running office. You need to make sure that, again, this is a very important step, clearing it with your advisor and understanding that this is a time commitment, and it's a very rewarding time commitment, but it is a time commitment. And so making sure that your advisor agrees with you running is an important step. And so after you've talked to your advisor, after you've written your why, you want to start thinking about what you want to do in your position. What makes you different? Why do you want to serve in the way that you want to serve? So for me, I wrote down a bunch of new initiatives that I wanted to start, maybe by identifying not necessarily a problem, but a room for improvement in certain areas in North Carolina FBLA. So I identified those, and then I wrote how I wanted to either fix it or improve on it. I wrote down new initiatives and what I would want to do, and then again, touching up on my why. And so writing down exactly what you want to do when you're in office, and you're not going to know everything right off the bat. That's what the position is also about, is getting to learn what being a leader is like at any level, whether it is a regional vice president, a parliamentarian, or the state president. You're not going to go into it knowing everything, which is another tip that I want to touch on in a moment. And so writing down exactly, a couple of ideas that you have in mind, some things that maybe you've seen across the state that you're like, this is something that I might want to fix or something that I might want to focus on, is writing that down and then touching up on your why. All right, so at this point, you have talked to your advisor, you've written down your why, you've written down a couple of things that you know you want to do, seen a couple areas that you would like to see improve, and wrote down how you're thinking about doing them. The next step is to take a deep breath and go to the North Carolina website and then find the documents that you need to download and submit by November 1st. Those deadlines, that deadline is a fixed deadline, and so those documents need to be received by Ms. Thomas at that date. And those documents include, sending in your resume, your transcript, a study guide, a candidate information sheet. And so having all of that information downloaded, filled out, and sent to Ms. Thomas by November 1st is extremely important. And then from there, you just want to work on your campaign. You want to make sure that you adhere to all of the campaign guidelines, which are in the handbook located at www.ncfbla.org. So understand that there are some rules, as are to any candidate running for any sort of office or position. Make sure you read those pretty clearly and understand exactly what it is saying that you can and can't do in the election process, in terms of who you can tell, when you can announce it on social media, when platforms can be made, etc. And so make sure you really touch up on those. And then lastly, enjoy it. Have fun. This is the most incredible thing. If you were watching this again, it means you love FBLA. It means you're thinking about running for a state officer position. And I cannot recommend it enough. If you are thinking about running and you think that, your advisor thinks that it's a good fit for you, and you've really thought long and hard about it, and you still have this feeling of really wanting to lead and to serve, do it, because we can use more leaders just like yourself to grow and improve the state of North Carolina FBLA. I did want to give one last tip before I close this session, and it is something that I wish I could have told myself at the beginning of this process. You're not going to know everything. If you're thinking about running and you were stressing because you were like, oh my goodness, there are so many things that I have no idea about, maybe questions about membership, how to access certain data, what you can and can't do, what your position exactly entails. If you have any sort of question, that is okay. And I want to really preface that because when I was first thinking about running, I was very worried because I don't know everything. I don't know everything about the world, and I don't know everything about FBLA. And so knowing and understanding that it's okay that I didn't know everything, and it's okay to ask lots and lots of questions during this process is something that was helpful for me to learn along the way, and is something that I wish I would have learned kind of from the beginning. Thank you all so much for listening to this session. I'm very grateful that you all have been able to experience a wonderful RCEC. I hope the rest of your day is going to go wonderfully. I hope your sessions have gone well. I wish you the best of luck in finding out your competitive event turnout, and I hope that you will reach out if you have any questions. You are amazing. Good luck with everything. Go FBLA, and remember that if you're interested in running for state office, remember those 4 big steps, and remember that it's okay if you don't know everything. I'm Brena Gauland. I appreciate you. If you need anything, again, reach out, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.